You hear my baby back there.
Welcome to Walking in Your Purpose. This is Thursday night at 8 with Linda Faith. It's time to discover the gift God has for you. I'm bringing awareness to what God has for you and the purpose behind your pain. If you have passion in your soul and a gift you haven't unleashed, well, let's talk about it. Having served in the United States Army for the last 18 years and continuing to serve as a servant leader to inspire, motivate, guide, and assist readily, I'm bringing a contemporary vibe to being happy and living your dream on purpose. Each week, I will introduce you to a life filled with purpose and how that purpose is being used to glorify God. Describing the tips, resources, and strategy to set you up for success. So now, let's jump right in and discover the gift God has for you.
Well, we are at episode 9. My name is Chandra Gore, and I am a lens of faith. I am so excited to introduce tonight a powerhouse woman, beautiful young lady that I have been following, and she is rocking it out, you guys. I got Ebony Cruz on the line. How are you this evening?
I'm doing great, girl. How are my boss ladies doing out there?
I just love that smile, girl. You keep on smiling and you keep on pushing. So let me tell you a little bit about Ebony. Ebony is often described as the Energizer Powerhouse. That's the title of the show, y'all. She is a high energy entrepreneur, coach, and motivational speaker. Ebony is obsessed with helping women, business owners increase sales by focusing attention on how they can lead with more influence and impact. She's driven to help women in business so much she's created the Best Women 365 group so that those who join can surround themselves with like-minded business owners that not only encourage you, but share with you what's working for them. She's also the proud owner of the nonprofit organization Hat Attitude Incorporated, where she aims to empower women of all ages to develop their self-empowerment, self-esteem, personal growth, spiritual growth by reclaiming their authentic power and the goddess within. With an MBA and background in marketing and motivational speaking, she's worked with small and large teams throughout several industries. She's also provides one-on-one leadership coaching and mentoring on a variety of business topics. And her clients will tell you they love working with her because guess what? She's going to hold them accountable to their plans. Ebony often appears on social media and around the Tampa Bay area, sharing her expertise and is a published author, co-author of 3 Key Steps to Transforming Your Business. She's recently had the opportunity not only to train, but share the stage with the award-winning celebrity TV host, creator of Spin Gym, and top influential female motivational speaker, Forbes Riley, and is the recipient of the 2018 Tampa, Florida Black Girls Rock Star Award. Rocking it out. I'm so glad to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It is such an honor to be here with you. You followed me. I have followed and watched you as well, and your growth is amazing. So I really appreciate you having me.
Amen to that. Well, we rocking it out together, girl. We on a move and on a mission. And I'm gonna tell you something. God is allowing me to move in my purpose, and I thank him every day for that. I really do. So, Ebony, let's just dive right on into it, girl. Let's get down to business. What prompted you to become an entrepreneur from the start?
Well, I was in a relationship, actually going through a separation, shall I say. And at the time, I was a school teacher. And as I was going through the separation, the schedule with teaching was rough, trying to maintain, be happy for these kids and teaching them. And then finally dropping down to one income. That it changed my life. It changed my kids. It changed everything because it went from, this happy home making $100,000 a year to, I'm on this teacher salary making about $30,000. And at that time my kids were in private school. So it's super hard to send them through private school. to continue seeing them. You know, they spent more time in after school care, before school care, you know. And so I said, you know, I want to start making my own way. I want to figure out how I can do it for myself without having to depend on a job or a career like that.
Amen.
I have a question for you. Is there a way that I can share this on my personal page?
Mm-hmm.
Page? I just want to keep going. I'm so sorry to cut you off, but I just want to make sure that I can share it out.
Are you on Lens of Faith page right now?
Oh, I can go there real quickly. And I see it. Whoop, whoop. All right. All right, so those of you that are on my page, please make sure you do like this page, follow it, you know, support. It's always how we grow. Just make sure you guys support, gang.
Amen to that. Amen to support. We all need support. We got to support one another. And that's what we don't do a lot of. So tell me, Ebony, how do you encourage support?
I lead by example. I'm not even going to. I will work with some people that it might have taken me a moment to get over some stuff, some bad experience that I've worked with people, but it doesn't stop me from continuing. I may have learned how to work with this particular person. It doesn't stop me from working with them. So I do lead by example. I try to encourage, and I try to give the women that I do work with opportunity to host their own events. You know, I'll come however I can help, whatever, but I try to lead by example to encourage others to do the same.
That's absolutely correct. And, you know, as far as teaching other people how to go live, doing something as simple as doing a live on Facebook, for instance, a lot of people are afraid to do it. Yeah. They're afraid to do it. And you know what I tell people? I say, look, go look in your mirror, put your phone up and record yourself, you know, and start there. You know, if you can't look yourself in the face and talk about what you know about what you have an expertise in, then we need to start from scratch.
That is the number one fear of majority of my clients is going live. And the thing about it is video marketing isn't going anywhere. It is the number one key to getting out there. So that is the fear that everyone has, is how many people are going to like it, who's going to watch it, you know, what are they going to say about me? That's the fear that a lot of women have when it comes to doing this online.
It definitely is. So, Ebony, tell the listening audience your theory on how to lead with more influence and impact.
So leading with influence and impact is walking it how you talking it. You know, you cannot be out here telling people to do this and live this way and walk this way and do this in their business, and you're not doing it. One thing that I dislike about certain leaders that are telling people to go down a certain road, they haven't been down that road themselves. They haven't, you know, made some of those figures that they're talking about making, or they haven't experienced some of the heartbreak. You know, a lot of my clients, because like I said, I work with women that might have been broken in some type of way. I can speak from experience. Like, I can definitely talk from experience. And that is what I say when I mean by lead by example and impact by example. Lead by what you have been through. Only talk about what you know, what you've been, what you went through, because you can't send somebody down this dirt road and you've never been down that dirt road.
Absolutely. So I got to tell you real quick. So that's how I actually birthed Lens of Faith Speaks. So God laid it on my heart and said, look, I want you to do have a speaking platform. And, you know, when I initially heard that word from God, I thought that I was just going to be on stage talking. No. When I planned to do that, God halted me, stopped me dead in my tracks and was like, that's not what I told you to do. So I had to backtrack and listen to the Lord more. I went into deep meditation, praying and fasting. And I heard God clearly tell me, you're going to do a podcast to shine your light onto others, to let the world see there's more beautiful people out here that's moving and walking in their purpose. And a lot of us are upset with ourselves and upset with life because we're not moving in purpose. And when you're not moving in purpose, you feel pretty bad. You know, you actually do feel pretty bad. But a lot of people are not tapping into what they authentically are good and great at because they're afraid. They're afraid to step out on faith and just try it. You know, and that's what Lens of Faith Speaks is all about, to get people to walk by faith and not by sight and take that leap of faith and say, I can do this. You know, this young lady, she does my makeup and my hair, you know, when I'm in the Tampa Bay area. And I told her, I said, it's time for you to move up and get that service up and running where you can serve the people effectively because you're good. You're great at what you do. I want to see you win. And whatever it is I can do to assist you, I'm going to do that.
Right. Absolutely. And that's how, you know, I hate when they say women don't know how to work together. I hate that stereotype it has. Women cannot work together because we can. It's all finding your tribe. And sometimes what it means is understanding what your purpose is and just walking down that lane. You can't do anything. You know, this person may be better at doing, you know, the marketing. This person may be good at the branding. This person may be good at blogging. It's about just knowing your strength and stand in your lane. But women, we can work together. And when we do, we are such a strong, it is amazing. It's amazing.
Powerful. We got Miss Gina on the line with us. Hey, Miss Gina. She said, yes, we absolutely can. You know, she is the CEO of Black Women Handling Business. I just love Miss Gina. And she's got an award show coming up that's showcasing and, you know, awarding Black women handling business. And this is her first award show. It's going to be an elite award show, 5-star award show.
Girl.
So, Miss Gina is out there doing her thing. Thank you, Miss Gina, for joining the show.
Yes.
So, sis, I noticed that in your bio, you targeted women specifically. What unique challenge have you faced yourself that has personally led you to target women?
Well, in the beginning, I grew up, you know how women always say, I don't have a lot of female friends. I'm a tomboy, you know, like everybody, that's kind of everybody. I don't hang with a lot of women, you know, that type of thing. And that's how I was. And mind you, I was naturally a tomboy. My father was a football coach, basketball coach. Like, I was not a girly girl. So I did hang out with guys. And sometimes when I tried to make the transition to hang out with women, it was kind of hard. You know, I was a military baby. We moved around a lot. So every 3 years, it's time to meet new people.
Right.
And what my mark was when I used to go anywhere new was I played basketball. Obviously, the boys are playing basketball, right? So that's who I meet first. And some of the girls, when I was younger growing up, you know, they were always like, oh, she's this or she's that, you know, before they even got a chance to know me. So kind of was the same way growing up. I just kind of sheltered myself to where I didn't want to have confrontation with women. I don't like confrontation, period. Walk away type of thing. And it took me a while to learn how to just walk away. But when I went through my separation, like I can remember this day as if I'm standing in this courtroom. And I remember, you know, begging and pleading, Lord Jesus, give me 90 days to just fix this out. You know, we're going through a separation. They were trying to foreclose on my home like that day. And I'm like, just give me 120 days.
Right.
Like, no, I'm like 90 days. Like, let me try to figure this out. As I was walking out, I ran into a lady and she was just like in tears. She basically had kind of just gave up. You know, it was just like, I'm just going to let him have everything. I just can't do this. And something at that point was the birth of Hatitude. I hadn't really got Hatitude together, but I gave her my number. And I was focusing on kids, not women. But she called and we chit-chatted and, you know, she was like, you know, you're giving me some type of strength. Mind you, I'm going through my crazy chaos, but I'm trying to tell her stay strong, you know. And after that, it was like, that's what we typically do. We kind of just say, he can have it all. I'll start over. We start over. We sometimes broken it. And sometimes some women, they take a lot. But because that material stuff that they did take, they're still broken. They never really themselves back together. And so they take this broken woman into another world, another career, another relationship, you know, and this broken woman is raising kids, you know. We're raising other broken individuals and haven't taken the time to get ourselves together. So that's what made me really focus on women and focus on, you know, although you're strong, it is okay to admit that this happened. This is our first time going on in life, you know, and just accept it, learn from it and move forward. And that's what really made me just want to work with women.
Amen to that. Now you mentioned Hatitude. Tell us about your nonprofit.
So Hatitude came about. My mother was a foster parent. Matter of fact, she still fosters. My grandmother, she, you know, fostering. And I wanted to, at this time, my vision was everywhere. You know, I wanted to help the world, right? And so I used to work with the Spring of Tampa Bay, which is a domestic violence center. And one time I was at this center giving this a speech to the women. I saw kids for the very first time. Now, mind you, I didn't know that kids, lived in this facility with the moms, And so when I saw the kids, I'm automatically drawn to kids. I'm talking to this young girl, and she was like, "Oh yeah, my grandmother has been here. My aunt has been here." I'm like, "Wait, this is too many people that that has been here." To come back here. This is a domestic violence center. You should not be here. Right. That's what made me put my focus on kids at that point. She was a foster kid, and the way she became a foster child was because her mom went back to the abusive situation, so she became a foster child. So, me being who I am, accepted 4 kids in my household at this time, on top of my 2, mind you, at the tail end of a foreclosure. Like, I'm trying to figure it out. At this point, I'm going through a bankruptcy. So I take on these 6 kids. The state of Florida probably was like, I don't know. They just needed a home. They didn't care if I could keep them or not. They just like, keep these kids. And I took these kids on top of mine, and I just put back, into them, like, this is what, you stand for. You're so beautiful. Just because this is what's happening at home, that isn't the case. You can be more than your environment. And so Attitude was birthed, and that's how I started going out into different facilities, working with kids, different mentor groups, things like that, just working with kids based on that particular situation.
So how did you get the name Attitude? What does that resonate with?
So back in the day, older women wear hats as a form of independence. It's a form of their beauty, right? But we got older, we get away from hats, whether it be the braids or the hairstyles that we wear. But your hat is your crown. And so Attitude, the purpose of that is to, if you're the only woman in the room with that hat on, wear your crown shamelessly and walk in that thing and strut, okay? Like, let's bring back what grandma and everybody used to wait for Sundays to wear their hat. Let's bring it back. And so the purpose of Attitude was to tell these young girls that, you do have a crown, and we all have a different crown, and our responsibility is to help the other female. If her crown is tilted, let's help her. But, as we help her, let's not shame her. Let's not talk about her in the group. Let's not feel like we're bigger than her. We're better than her. Let's help her overcome where she's at, so she'll be inspired to overcome the next person.
Oh, man, I love that. I love that concept. That's why I was like, what is Attitude? How does that resonate with it? And I love it. I absolutely love it. Wow. Wow. I love that concept. So sis, we're all big, well, most of us are big on helping others achieve their goals, or basically just sitting, talking with others and lending a helping hand and serving. I want to talk about serving in the community right now. How have you impacted the community through serving?
Oh man, it goes from feeding the homeless to doing a shoe drive for kids, to servicing nonprofits. One of my mentors, Diane Hart, shout out, she's our newest state representative. She has been, a queen in my life that has really, just guided me in a lot of ways, especially to where I am right now. I got to give a lot of love and support to her. But when Attitude was first coming around, I did a shoe drive, because one thing I noticed when we were doing the food drives is that a lot of kids were having shoes with holes in their shoes, or just kind of old shoes, or, they couldn't wear certain shoes because kids would pick on them. So we did this. I did it 2 years in a row to give shoes back. And from there, as we were out, Diane kind of got on to wanting to feed every community. So we went from Jackson Heights to Belma Heights to Robles Park to J Court. Like, if you in Tampa, all of these places. We went to Progress Village, Claremont. We got out every single Tuesday. And the crazy part about it is, she, to this day, state representative, is still out there giving out food every Tuesday. This is what I transitioned to teaching women how to create financial freedom online. So they're not always at their 9 to 5. They don't miss their life with kids. That's right. But my service, I mean, it goes from, I mean, I volunteered from Stop the Violence here in Tampa. Did a couple of walks with that. Again, feeding the homeless downtown. That was the one, I think, one of the moments that I really remember and I really love and kind of got a lot of appreciation for myself was to go and feed the homeless. Like they would ask, okay, am I able to keep this food out? Like I can't have this canned food because I'm not gonna know how to cook it. You know, I ain't gonna have a place to cook it. You know, do you have any toiletries? You know, that was a humbling moment for myself and for my kids.
I really love feeding the homeless, and I like going to Trinity Cafe. That's where I get to spend personal time with them and treat them like they're human beings, you know, to be able to serve them a hot meal, get them coffee, get them tea, get them water. It's, you know, human nature. And just for that split hour or two to allow them to be regular people, you know, where they don't have to feel any kind of way because they're being served, you know. And I have to tell people, any of us can be homeless at any point in time in life.
Any point. We can be knocked off our pedestal at any time.
We could be homeless. And what I like is taking my children too. My teens, they go down. Now my daughter, she wants to feed the homeless all the time. She wanted to start an initiative for her business where she take a certain percentage of her profits and she makes brown bag lunches and takes them down to the police station downtown Tampa and pass them out to the homeless. And, you know, I said, okay, my daughter has watched me do this. She's watched my husband do it. She's watching us do it with the church. She wants to get involved now. And now she took the initiative to do that. And that's what I love. We need to teach our children how to be humble too, you know, because any point in time, any of us could lose it all.
Right.
So and that's humble ourselves.
And that's the thing that, you know, when I was raising all of these kids, you know, on top of my kids. So, you know, my daughter, her dad passed away when she was in the 4th grade. You know, it was just an accident. Just no one never would have even thought that was going to happen. You know, son, I'm in the process of separating from my son's father. So he doesn't understand, you know, what is really going on. I had these 4 kids that they're being permanently taken away from their parents by the state of Florida, you know? And so it was a lot of emotions in my household at that time. Mind you, I'm trying to understand and figure out how did this go so wrong to where we're ending in a place where we are separating and I'm literally filing bankruptcy. Like how did we get here?
Right.
Oh, and kids, you know, we think as grown people, we handle things and we know but kids process a lot and they watch our moves. They see how we carry ourselves. And one thing that was really, you know, for me, it was a matter of, although I have a lot going on, I still wanted to remain strong in front of them, but also, you know, it's okay to cry. You know, it is okay to show your emotions. You know, as families, we do try to raise our young girls to where crying is not an option. You know, that's how I was raised. You know, you cry, you weep, you know what I mean? But I had to, you know, be vulnerable to my kids, but also strong at the same time so they could learn from what was going on with myself and put it in, you know, back into their lives.
Well, you know, I've been through several situations myself and, you know, I used to try to shield my kids from it, but now my kids are getting older where we have to have conversations about things. And I think it's all about communicating what you can to your children so that they can remain healthy in their minds and prosper and, you know, go to school and be normal as they possibly can. Right. It's all about communication. And a lot of families, they don't communicate. They rather just try to sweep it under the rug and let it lay dormant. And then 20 years from now, their children are adults. And guess what? They're doing the same thing. They're failing to communicate with their family members, you know? So communication is key, whether it's with our children, amongst each other, you know, as adults. Moving forward, we have to learn how to communicate better.
Right. And have those conversations. You know, one thing that I do urge in the Black community is, you know, we are not perfect.
Right.
to have conversations and address situations versus that baby touched. You know, she touched, right? Or she fast, she's smelling her stuff. No, let's have the conversations and let's not sweep it under the rug, because no one has been through this life. No one has been through this journey ever before. Yes, I hear people, my mom says this all the time. She'd be like, Ebony, you got to listen to what people say. I get it. But the best teacher of life is experience. Yeah. If we don't experience it, we're not going to learn what you're telling me not to do. I'm going to learn it because I did experience. Now, I'm not saying go out here and be crazy. Of course, I would never, condone any of that. But what I'm saying is that for me, in order to be where I am and who I am today, I had to experience having 2 baby daddies at the I had to experience the bankruptcy. I had to experience thinking I could club and go to work and still make it. Like, I had to experience that to understand that's not what I want. That's not where I go. That's not what I want for my kids.
And see, ultimately, our experiences give us a message. We're learning lessons through every experience we have in life. And in order for us to give that testimony or to touch that woman, 7 years from now, you may be going through something right now. You don't have a clue of why you're going through it. But 7 years later, you come into contact with some women that's been through what you've been through. And you can say, listen, let me tell you how I got through this. Right. Now you have a story to tell because of your experience. That's why I tell people that I come in contact with, no matter what your story is, there's a message in your mess, so you can turn your mess into a message and help someone else. But oftentimes you find people, they don't want to tell you what they're going through because they're ashamed, they're doubting themselves. It's a pride thing or whatever. And it took me a long time to come to where I had to be transparent. And I learned this on my show, that whatever I'm willing to, discuss, I have to be transparent about that so I can help somebody. Somebody hear my story about sexual abuse. Somebody needs to hear my story about being a domestic violence survivor. Somebody needed to hear how I laid crying late at night, not knowing what's really wrong with my daughter, and to find out she had a heart condition that I had no idea she had to the last possible second when something went wrong. So we need to hear those types of stories so we can bless somebody else in the process of whatever it is we're going through. Here it is, you going through all that and you help 4 kids.
Right.
So your blessings are going to flow because of that.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. Because in doing any type of business, and I'm sorry to cut you off like that, but when you're doing business, for those of you that are building any type of brand online, the world of the internet has changed how we do business. Back in the day, you could hide life. You could hide, I'll be just honest with you. My grandmother, she for the longest hid that my grandfather, they had an outside child. She was, of course, ashamed that he did this. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The thing about it is that because we're online, and because, hey, Kathy, and because the world wants instant information, like right now, we want to know what's going on right now. You have to be that much more authentic of who you are for people to even believe what you selling and what you doing. A lot of us that get online that sell they're in these network marketing companies, they're selling all products, they're trying to put they're trying to put these businesses online, but yet and still they want to hide who they are. That's not going to help you when it comes to good brand. People want to know you, they want to get to trust you, they want to be able to relate to you. And if that means relating to you through a misfortunate situation, then that's what that means. But understand is when people see that you went through this situation, you started this podcast, you're running this business. I just went through that situation too. Right. So and see, your story is your brand, basically.
Exactly. And that's what people have to embrace. Becoming an author, they tell you your story it has power. It's all about how you word in your story, how you tell your story, and what you tell in your story. You want that to be, able to grab people's attention. And when you grab somebody's attention, that's because guess what? They either faced it or they want to learn not how to do that, what you did, whatever it is that you went through. And we have to be able to share our knowledge, share our power. And, you know, I'm working on my doctoral degree. Now, if I get this, you know, when I get my doctoral degree, and everything,
don't say no if now, girl.
Yeah, I had to fix that real quick. But when I get my doctoral degree, I have to be willing to share. And that's why I started Chandra's doctoral journey. So I can share step by step what I'm going through, what I'm facing as I enter into this space that I've never been in before. And you know, now I'm linked up with Kathy. I'm calling Kathy like, hey, sis, do I need to do X, Y, and Z? What, you know, trying to brainstorm and get through this. And, you know, I think that relationship building is all a part of being a successful student, because we have to learn how to build relationships, foster relationships, whether it's with coworkers, people you don't even know, you know, friends, associates. We have to learn how to network together. Just like I'm coming together with you, we're going to do some great things.
Yes, indeed.
In the future, you know, just by connecting through social media. You know, social media is a networking platform, but we have to, you know, learn how to be selective in what and who we're entering into a space with, you know, to see if we're on the same sheet of music, if your followers are, you know, maybe can be some of my followers or what have you, because we're doing, you know, maybe similar things, but different purposes, you know? So I believe that we have to learn how to foster relationships a lot better. And I believe that your platform is going to help make that happen.
Thank you. You know why I really try to give back so much and work with people. And this is why I have to make people understand the difference between giving back and just giving too much of yourself. Because sometimes when I first started along, I never, ever asked for any fees for anything. I'm just giving. Girl, I'm giving so much. I'm about to lose giving, right? But you can't help anybody if you can't help yourself. You know what I mean? Yes. And it's a certain extent to where you have to start saying, now this is a service and this is my giving. Like you got to try to separate the two when you're doing any women, because we give now. I'm saying we love hard and we give a lot. That's one thing that women, you know, I can say that women that I know, that's what we do. You have to understand how to separate.
Yes.
Too. And, you know, for me, a lot of women from when I was yay high have put so much into me. It is only right that I put out. Like if you were to go to my women's group right now, half of the stuff that I teach, that I give away, that are one-on-ones, that I talk through the personal problems, to the kids' problems, you know, that is not even something that I'm not going to say, oh, you know, you owe me for these 30 minutes that we was talking. You know that, right? Like, you know, and there's people that's out there like that.
Yeah.
I want to see people around me grow just as much as I'm growing. And if I'm the only one that's growing, then I'm not doing something right. I'm not doing something right amongst the people around me. If I'm the only one that's getting sales, that's getting leads, that's growing teams, you know, but putting events together, if I'm the only person that's doing that, that says a lot about the leadership in itself. Because leader, your obligation is to put back into your people. It is to inspire them to go. Now, you can't make them do it, but you can definitely put back into them to inspire them to want to do more. And that is my responsibility, because I would not be here without the Diane Harts, without the Chloe Tonys, without the Deidre Baldwins, I wouldn't be here without those women. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why it's important to always give back and put it back into those that are working with you.
Amen to that. Thank you all who have joined us on the live line tonight. This is Thursday night at 8 with Lens of Faith. My name is Chandra Gore, and tonight I have on the line with me Ebony Cruz, Energizer Powerhouse. We're talking about, you know, just uplifting women, what it is that we can do to touch the hearts and minds of women, entrepreneurs, speakers, coaches, whatever you decide to do in life. We're going to talk about Next, how to be consistent in what you're doing. How to be consistent in what you're doing. If you're joining me on the live line, say hello so I know that you're there. If you're catching a replay, please hashtag replay. So Ebony, let's talk about this. We gotta dive into this. No true entrepreneur can accomplish anything without consistency. Who are we leading? Why would somebody follow us?
Right.
We have to be consistent. Talk to us about being consistent.
Consistency comes from confidence. A lot of us are not consistent because we're not confident in what we are doing. And that could be confident in the skill set that we need to learn. It could be confident in a place that we are in our life. So the first thing that comes up, the weather is cold. Oh, I can't do a video today because it's cold outside. You know, we come with an excuse. Consistency is based on our unconscious mind telling us something that we cannot do. You know, we procrastinate. That's a part of procrastination.
Yes.
Not believing in who we are. And so in order to become consistent, what I tell people is you have to take baby steps on different tasks. Now, you have to understand where you are with your skill set, you know, and that's the thing. When a lot of us get in any type of business, I talk a lot about online because this is, you know, that's my work. That's my line of work. I talk a lot about that. But even a traditional business where you're starting your own business is that you are not going to be a jack of all trades, whether it be the sales position, the marketing, you know, the networking, the creating graphics. You know, you're not going to know everything in the beginning. And
Right.
what you have to understand is be honest with yourself with where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are.
Yep.
Once you do that, the first part of giving back in your business is reaching out to students, interns. When I first started my business, I worked with so many interns because they were in school for the very exact thing that I did not know how to do.
Mm-hmm.
Did I have the money in the beginning? No, I didn't. Was that an excuse for me to stop? No, it wasn't. It was a way for me to give back to some student that needed those credits. They needed that time in my business, me trusting in someone else, also building leadership to learn how to keep my business going versus making excuses as to why I can't do it. Right. You know, so for me, I focused more on building my presence because I was in front of people. I can't get up there talking about, yo, y'all, what's up, you know, la, la, la. No, that's not going to attract the right crowd, you know? Like, I know where I come from, but sometimes I know I got to leave that where it's at too, go where I'm trying to go. And so that's where I had to learn. Right now, my key focus is learning how to network and speak to people. That's my focus. And once I got that down, you know what? Now I need to learn this thing called marketing. I need to understand how do you package, brand, and market a product or a service. That's where you are. Anybody that's watching right now, you need to understand where you are. Own your moment. Stop looking at what the next person is doing and where they're at and how they started. Own where you are. Take ownership with what's going on in your life, in your space, in your business, and you work that until you're at the next level. And once you go to the next level, then you own that and go to the next level. But we got to stop watching what everyone else is doing, thinking this is where I should be. Oh, she could do it. I could do it too. You know, you got to own where you are.
Yeah, you know, I think it's very important in order for you to be consistent in anything. You got to first understand what your purpose is. What do you want to sell? Are you selling anything? Or are you talking to people? Are you helping people? Are you influencing people? Figure out what you're trying to do. Get that down on paper. Look at it, digest it, and, you know, understand it and be able to tell it to somebody. Then you can learn how to, just like you said, put yourself out there. Social media is a great platform to build who you are. But you can't build who you are if you're not showing up.
Right. Right. Because the thing about social media is that, you know, Facebook is a space where people come to have fun. They come to, a lot of people come to get away. They're not coming to buy anything. They just come to get away. And so if you're consistent for 2 days and you fall off for 5 days, when people come to your page, they're not going to take you as a serious business owner. They're going to say, oh, she can't be doing what she's telling us she's doing because she's not on here enough. She can't be selling because she's not doing it enough. You know what I mean? And so if you want people to take you serious on your good days, on your bad days, you know, on your clumsy days, on your fearful days, you still got to get up. You got to show up.
And you know what? I got a tip right now that I'm about to drop on y'all. A lot of people feel like they got to be on Facebook and click that button. Facebook now allows you to set up automatic posts. So you can set up automatic posts for free on Facebook. Yes, you can do Hootsuite too, you know, for the more advanced or experienced people, doing, you know, business owners. But if you really want to, you know, get your posts out there, set it for 1 o'clock every day at the same time you posting whatever it is you got to post. You know, we have to get in our mindset that we're going to be consistent no matter what. A lot of us are working. I'm a soldier. I have to go to work, you know, so I don't have time to be on Facebook 24 hours a day. But what I can do is set up my stuff to automatically post, or I can go on there on my lunch break every day and make 2 posts and say hello to my people and let them know, hey, I'm here on when I get off work, do my 2 more posts. It's all about what you set your mind up for, because people will do what they want to do. I'm telling you this.
They sure will.
Whatever it is that you want to do. So if you're taking your business serious, if you're taking your platform serious, you're going to do what it takes to excel and take off like a rocket.
Right. One thing that Gary V, entrepreneur that I follow, I watch his motivation. Now he's a little verbal wise. He says something I don't want to hear. But one thing that he said to me that resonated with me was, if you really want it and you work in a 9 to 5 right now.
Yeah.
You're 9 to 5. You may come home and from, you know, 6 to 8, you're spending time with your family. But 9 to 2, you're working your business.
Yeah.
You do that consistently for 6 months to a year, year and a half, you eventually leave that 9 to 5 and have your business full time. But see, the thing about it is we have in our head mentally that, oh, well, I can only probably do it for about 2 hours. I may do a video on Wednesday, or I may do some training on Saturday, you know, put it off. But you have to take ownership in your business in order for it to take you serious. And the other thing about it is you have to invest in your business. Invest could be invest in a coach. It could be invest in training. It could be invest in some type of product, some type of course. If you're not willing to invest, why should somebody buy your stuff? If you're not willing to invest in you, you know, and that's how you have to think about stuff. And
that's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people, because I can honestly say when I first started, I was like, get a coach. And then I'm looking at the coach prices and I'm like, whoa, I don't have it. I don't have it, but this lady is good. You know, I want that platform that she got. I know I can be a powerhouse like that. But 5,000, 10,000. Okay, now how do I set myself up to where I can reach that level? Well, I decided to start small and build year after year. I'm in my almost 3rd year now of trying to build my entrepreneur brand. So here's what I did. I started off really small. I think I started getting a coach for like maybe like $40-some every couple of weeks or whatever. And then I slowly said, okay, she said, look, we need to kick this up a notch because you got this down pat. Let's, you know, you need to go up to the next level. So then I'm like, okay, now I got to save. So if I got a designer purse, you know, that costs $200-300, I'm thinking I can spend this $200-300 and invest in a coach, you know, or invest in a product that's going to help me build my brand, or training that's going to help me build my brand. It's all about what you calculate your dollar to. Because I guarantee you, if you want to go out to eat, you're gonna pay that money. Want to go to the club, you're gonna do it. If you want to go shopping, you're going to pay that money. If you want to go on that trip, you're going to pay that money. But guess what? None of those things give you a return on your investment, except for, you know, pleasure that you can't receive money back from.
Right. You can't get it back. And it's all about the sacrifices. Like, I love getting my hair done, y'all. I love my nails. I definitely love the designer purses and watches. And, you know, I love it all, you know. But it came a moment, especially during bankruptcy time, I had to sacrifice and say, in order for me to get here, I got to chill out a little bit. You know, think about my budget. I got to think about what I'm saving. I got to think about what is priority. You know,
it definitely can be done.
Kid, they gonna rob you before you even get going.
I got teenagers, so I know.
Right. So, you know, a part of it is learning how to, and I just kind of learned this concept, which I started living by this a couple of months ago, is about trying to live on at least 40% of your income. Yeah. And that's really hard. That's hard for a lot of people to do. That's hard. But right now that we're getting this income tax season time, praise the Lord that, you know, we're going to be able to get income tax considering what's going on in the world. But if you can get yourself at a place to where, you know, you can get out of debt, or you could take some of your income tax and invest in a business, learn how to live on maybe starting off 20% of your, you know, you invest 20% of your money back into your savings, you know. Yeah. You know how you pay IRS before IRS get their money before you even get yours.
Absolutely.
20% up for you. Pay you next. IRS have paid them. Pay you next. Then
absolutely.
Company. Then go pay, you know, the phone bill. You know, do all of that other stuff. But first, you know, and if you can consistently get in the habit of paying you first, what'll happen is when you get in a rut or something happens, some emergency, you'll have that money you can fall back on. But you can't keep pinching from it. You have to be able to put it up, leave it where it's at, and do it every single month.
Being consistent about what you're saving and how you're saving it. Yep, absolutely. So, Ebony, you know, a lot of us are pursuing higher education, you know, master's, doctoral degrees, bachelor's degrees, things of that nature. You have a background in marketing as well. What changed your path, you know, from marketing to coaching and mentoring? Tell us about that.
Well, so the way I got into this whole world, so I fell into radio through community service work. The station here in Tampa, Florida, WMNF, shout out to you all, because that's how I got my first break on radio. And about, you know, something going on in the school system, but I wanted to inform. And what I got about, a lot that I did get back was people they just didn't know. They were making decisions, they just didn't know. And so I started trying to learn, you know, how to do this marketing thing. All right. So WMNF led me to WTMP, working with Tom Joyner here in Florida. And the station that I was at were old school. It's a heritage station in the city, but they did not know how to market on social media. I'm like, just because we have older people that are listeners, grandma is on Facebook. She is talking to her grandchild. Like, stop thinking grandma on Facebook. Okay, y'all play too much. I wanted to learn, you know, even with nonprofits, I wanted to figure out how can we get us out there a little bit more. So I started doing the free classes. You know, I didn't want to pay for anything. Then I finally bought a course. And then I said, you know what? I'm going back to school. In order for me to really know how to do it, I got to go back to school. And that's pretty much how I transitioned from the marketing. And then once I learned it, it was like, I got to teach it. I can't take this. I got to pay loans, but I got to get back. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change this skill set into the business, and I turned it into coaching. And that's what I did.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, a lot of us have degrees, and you don't know when you're going to need that degree, because it's going to maybe something in your business, your entrepreneurship journey, that you're going to have to reach back and utilize that degree for. Right. You know, so I wouldn't say that it's in vain. I don't think any form of education is ever in vain. I just feel like, you know, you can shelf it for now, and, you know, you may have to pull it out and utilize it one day real soon, especially if you develop a course that you need to teach others, you know, about what you're doing or what you got your degree in. That's going to come in real handy.
Right. No, I definitely agree with you. For me doing business online, some of the stuff that I have learned online, they teach you in school. And that's what you guys have to understand is, although you go to school, some of us forget that it's just a stepping stone for us to continue to learn. Some of us think that that's the only way. That's the only thing we learn. Like, you have to understand that school is not the only way out. You do have to put it in some other ways as well.
Amen to that. So, sis, I know you've shared the stage with some pretty influential people. Tell us how you navigated to get such a rewarding opportunity. And if you can drop some names, we'll love those too.
You're so crazy. So the way it happened is definitely not being afraid. I'm just gonna say that. And mind you, I'm afraid.
The devil is a lie. Can you hear me, Ebony? We seem to have lost her. We seem to have lost you, Ebony. I can't hear you anymore. Please bear with us. Ebony's screen is frozen at this time. She has not come back on yet. When she comes back in, I will definitely let you all know. This has been a great episode thus far. I have Ebony Cruz on the line, and we're talking about influencing women, entrepreneurship, doing great things in the community. You know, I know there's a lot of entrepreneurs on this line, and I want you all to please share this video out because we're dropping nuggets tonight that maybe can help you in building your brand and your business. She's back. For a second.
Yes, I did. I'm super sorry. So part of the speaking came from me just not being afraid. Like I would be in a situation and I would just say, you know what, I just got to go introduce myself. I'm just going to introduce myself, and whether I make a fool of myself, whatever, at least I'm going to introduce myself. And by doing that, and like I said, by Miss Deidre, Miss Diane, forcing me to go on stage a lot, you know, for events. At this time, Diane hadn't even thought about running for office. You know, she was just giving back in the community, and she needed somebody to host her giveaways for Christmas. So everybody's hosting. I don't care what you want to do, you're doing it. And by that and that push and them seeing something in me at that time that I didn't see in myself, I have made it to, you know, interview Kim, Chris Rock, got to talk to Les Brown, you know, who was that? Ford Riley, you know, to work with her. Got online Divarengia. She's a really well-known online marketer, you know, on with her. Inside of just MLSP with Keisha Bass, like she is amazing. You know, to just I can name drop, you know, but name dropping it. What does it do? I don't even put that stuff on my page a lot. Like I just don't do that because all of those experiences were growth tools. They were tools that helped me to see that you can do this. Like, there's no reason that you are sitting right here doubting what you can do because everything you have is already in you. Yeah, it come out as professional as you want it to come out. They may hear the little slang that comes out a little bit, you know. Your dress attire may come off, you know, it may not come off as polished and as professional as other people, but it's already in you to do it.
Yes.
Instead of you waiting on somebody to ask you to do it, you know what? You ask for that mic and you go do it. That's what you do. And a lot of where I've been is because I will ask for the mic. Hand me the mic. And I started off with entertainment. The brand has changed to more informative, but I would get the mic and I would literally kill the crowd because their energy gave me energy, you know, and it made me want to do more. And the more I kept doing, the more people would see me, the more people like, let's do it. I need you, Ebony. I want you to, you know,
right.
With this platform, with this stage being blessed like this, I don't want people to just laugh. I want to teach people how to make money. I want to teach people how to, you know, live out their dreams, not just watch me. And that's how it transitioned.
Wow. That's pretty powerful. And, you know, we have to step out on faith and learn how to be, you know, try something new. Try something new. A lot of us, we only stick to what we know. But when you step out on faith and you try something new, you never know where you'll land yourself. You never know where you're going to land. That's why I wanted you to talk about it, just so people would know that you know, by you just stepping up, taking the mic, you know, putting yourself out there, putting yourself on that stage. You never know what can transpire.
And you know what's so crazy? Like this past year, you know, to just want to jump into doing on business online has landed me, you know, one opportunity, of course, working with Diane. I always, she can call me at midnight and I'm gonna work with Diane.
Mm-hmm.
But I got the opportunity to work with the transportation campaign. I recently got the opportunity to work with Jane Castor, who is running for mayor of the city of Tampa as community outreach for this woman. Team apparently had to have seen something to say, you know what, I want to work with her. Like, we want to work with you. Regardless of what anybody may say, what they may feel, you know, oh, you can't work with this person, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. I knew that this was one of the best opportunities to show that not only what I have learned, what I've been building, what I've been growing, what I've been teaching is the best opportunity to show her, the city, the world, who's watching, what I'm capable of. You know, regardless of what job told you that I wasn't going to hire you, what your resume might have said, who might have hired you, who might have said you ain't work. None of that matters to me at this point because everything that I've done on my own is really what has gotten me to where I'm at. It's just being who you are and just doing it, whether you fail or not. In order for you to get better, you got to fail. You got to flop. It got to be mistakes because you never learn if you don't go through it. So watching, anybody that's listening, you know, I know people look at me now and they be like, it is so funny when today I had a young guy call me, like I was working with him and his mother and stuff when he was going out to college and stuff. They're like, oh my God, it's such an honor to talk. I'm like, it is not an honor to talk to me. Like, listen, you guys, I will talk to y'all. It's not that I would never be up there. But what you guys...
Girl, wait a minute. Wait, let me stop you dead in your tracks. You said you would never be... Like, you don't know now. You can be on that platform.
I would never be so big to where...
So big.
I will never be so big to where I do not have the moment to talk to that person or give that. Like, because Les Brown didn't have to take a second to talk to me.
Right.
But he did, you know, and that second that he took to talk to me, oh my God, that was so much. I was so afraid to talk to this man, but that was so much inspiration. Yolanda Adams did not have to stop and give me a drop for anything for my radio station. Candy, what's the Portia? Like, I could just name these people that did not have to talk to me. Did take a moment. And one thing I will say, no matter how high I get, I love you. Sorry, I got guys, my child, she doing something, you know. No matter how big I get, I never ever want to be too big to where I cannot have that conversation with somebody, or I can't take that picture, or I can't shake that hand, or comment or respond back. Like, that's never me, you know. And I used to fight with myself about how I talk or how I look. I used to fight, but as just me being me is why I'm where I'm at. And I keep being me, and you got to keep being you.
Amen. So, Ebony, as we wrap up, give us 3 keys to success for entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneurs, 3 keys to success. Consistency is number 1. You got to be consistent. Number 2, you got to commit to your business. Commit to your business with your life. You got to want it as bad as you want to breathe. I'm trying to tell you. Better listen to Eric Thomas. That's how bad you better want it. And you continue to learn. If you feel like you've gotten to a place to where you've learned it all and where you know it all, you've already sabotaged yourself. You got to continue to want to learn, be consistent, and commit to your business. And your business is you. You are the brand.
Amen to that. Give us 3 things not to do.
Three things not to do. Oh man. First of all, don't learn from your mistakes. If you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're devastated. You're done. Live on fear. Fear is going to keep you in the place that you are. And if you're afraid to do it, you're never going to move. And the other thing not to do is listen to people that haven't been where you are or where you want to go. People that tell you what you can't do, that's never done what you're trying to do, those are the wrong people to surround yourself around. Those are the wrong people to be around, period. So if you're getting advice from the cousin, from the uncle, from the auntie, from the god sister, from the homie from school, those are the wrong people to get advice from. You need to go around people that have been where you want to be.
Amen to that. So what you got coming up next, Ebony?
Oh, man. So, I have this campaign. Jane Castor for mayor. I got to give her a plug real quick. I got this campaign. This is my third campaign that I really want to, I want her to win, obviously, because I'm on the campaign. But tomorrow morning, with the Tampa Black Heritage Festival, I have a business fest that we're talking about doing business online. And I'm coming from a place of doing marketing. And so it's during the day. So for those of you who do work, maybe you can take an early lunch, call in sick for the first part of the day, whatever. But I'll be doing a seminar with the Black Heritage Festival, of course, talking about business right here in the city of Tampa. I will try to go live for those that are not in Tampa so you guys can see some of what's going on.
Tell us where it's at. Where's the location?
It is at in Ybor at the Entrepreneur Collaborative Center, which is at the corner of 22nd and Palm or 21st and Palm, whichever direction you're coming from. It starts at 10 o'clock, goes to about 12:30. It is a panel of experts, so just not myself. This team, we've been growing this team for the last about 3, 4, 5 years. About 5 years. I want to say about 5 years. We've been growing this team. And all of us have seen growth in our business in so many ways by using this platform. Is we donate our time to give back information to those in the community. Of course, if you want more time, you do have to book whoever that you decide to work with, though.
Tell us about your business.
So online business, listen, anybody that is looking to build your brand, learn how to sell products or your service online. My coaching services is what I offer. And with my services, I do offer products. So it's the learning how to do Facebook, learn how to do Instagram. Those who want to learn how to do Snapchat, Twitter, whatever you want to learn. And the number one thing that I do focus on teaching is attraction marketing. Those of you who don't know what attraction marketing is, look it up. Understand attraction marketing is being who you are to attract your tribe, branding yourself as the brand, not the company, not the product, but you as the brand. And I teach that concept because you're never going to go out of style. I know I'm never going out of style. So the only way I'm going out of style is when I leave this earth, and I ain't going out of style then. You got to continue to, build who you are in order to sell that product, whatever you got going on. So my services are coaching, teaching attraction marketing, learning how to, sell your products and services online.
Amen to that. Make sure you put those links in the comments when we get off, so everybody knows your website, how to reach you, if they have questions for you. Right now, I'm going to open the floor for any questions. So if you have any questions for myself or Ebony, please drop the questions in the comments and we'll answer them accordingly. Any final words, Ebony?
Final words. So I know you guys can hear my baby back here with her little toy. Like moms that are out there, and I want to speak to moms, and I do want to speak to spouses and loved ones, that if you have a woman in your life that has that vision, that has that dream, and you see she's not only raising kids, doing a household, loving you, and running a business, support that. That's something that we need to learn how to support one another, whether it's men or women. We need to learn how to support and see that this woman is carrying a lot. And today, you know what? I'm going to wash the clothes. You know what? I may cook. I may get the kids because I see what she's doing. I see how she holds our household down. Support. And for women that think that you have a child or you've been through a bad situation or, today, whatever circumstance you're in right now that you think this is it, it's not. It is completely a mindset thing, because for someone like me to come from bankruptcy, the loss of a loved one at the midst of raising 4 kids that ain't even mine, plus mine too, to come from where I have come from, and I'm not even going through all the bad situations, and be where I'm at, you got to learn how to love life, and you got to learn how to love yourself, because we only get this journey once. If you spend a lot of time reminiscing on the negativity and reminiscing on what happened to you and being the victim, you never go anywhere. So the closing remarks is believe in you, believe you can. Whether you're in the financial situation to do it, you can do it. If the vision is in you, just start pushing, just start doing it, because it's going to happen. You just got to stay consistent and believe that you can do it.
Amen to that. I thank you so much for coming on a live with me, Ebony. This is going to be a great collaboration, meeting with you in person and getting to know you more and, you know, building a network with you. And I thank God for finding you through Kathy. And Kathy is also another great powerhouse, inspirational woman that God connected me with. And, you know, there's great things coming to the Tampa Bay area. So I tell you all, put your seatbelt on, because we ain't going nowhere.
Buckle up. I'm trying to tell you.
More often. I just want to let you all know that Thursday Night at 8 with Lens of Faith is in the 3rd season. And I thank you all for following me. This is an inspirational Facebook Live podcast that will teach and motivate servant leaders to discover their talent, exercise their power, and walk by faith to live an abundant life. Your talent is a gift from God. What you do with your talent is your gift to God. I am here and I'm not going anywhere. So I'll be starting my new training sessions come 1 February. I'll be doing Facebook Live training sessions on walking by faith. If you don't know what that means, check me out.
Right.
I thank you all for joining the live line. And if you're catching a replay, please #replay. Ebony, don't go nowhere. Stay right there.
Got you. Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for being on the show today. I would like to thank all my followers and listeners for tuning in to today's show. You have been listening to Walking in Your Purpose, Thursday night at 8 with Lens of Faith. Connect with me now. I want to hear from you. Please like, share, and follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Lens of Faith Speaks. God bless.